old hat now. All righty, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. So welcome everybody. I am Diana Duncan, the Director of Sales and Marketing here at Friendship Village for Independent Living. Today I have Wendy Hahn, who is the magic behind the camera. So she helps set things up, and you may have had already contact with her already. She's lovely. Today we also have our entire life enrichment team. So we have Ken Greshak. He is the leader of the pack there. And then we have his wonderful team members, Nancy Kotarski, Ashley, and Amanda. So we're gonna go through, if they want to introduce themselves briefly and just kind of talk a little bit about what their role is, that would be great. And then I'll open it up and we're going to talk about what the 8 dimensions of wellness are and what that means here at Friendship Village and how that we incorporate that into the life enrichment program. So Ken, if you want to start out and introduce yourself.
Yep, my name is Ken Greshak. I'm the Director of Life Enrichment and Fund Development here at the Village. I have the wonderful honor of being on the leadership team that oversees life enrichment, and really my job is to kind of get out of their way because they are so very good at what they do. Nancy is the Director of Life Enrichment. Ashley is the Assistant Director of Life Enrichment. Amanda is our Life Enrichment Coordinator. And together, what we do is really, our job is to help our residents thrive. I'm not going to get into the details of it because I'll just be stealing Nancy's and Ashley's and Amanda's thunder. But that's really what we do. The one person you're not seeing is our new fitness manager, Andre McCormick. He'll be starting in about 2 weeks. And but you will get introduced to the fitness program later on in today's program. So that's it for me, and I'll kick it down to Nancy.
Hello, my name is Nancy Kotarski, and I am the Life Enrichment Director. I think Ken gave you the brief overview of our office and who's there. And we really enjoy being a team and working to enrich the lives of everyone who lives at Friendship Village. Keep everyone engaged in life and doing as much as they want or as little as they want, but hopefully living a terrific, fulfilled life. Did you want Ashley?
Yep, I think Ashley unmuted her. So go ahead, Ashley.
Hi, I'm Ashley Berry. I'm the Assistant Director here in Life Enrichment, and I help support Nancy where she needs. And with COVID, my roles kind of changed a little bit. I do a lot of tech support for residents in regards to Echo, Zoom, and CareMerge, and I am the lead for the Amazon for Hospitality system that we have here. So as you'll find out, we use Echo a lot, and I help install and train residents in using that.
Perfect. Thank you, Ashley. Amanda?
Hi, I'm Amanda Stout. I'm the Life Enrichment Coordinator here. I've only been here during COVID times, so I'm not sure what it's like before that, but I've do a lot of just supporting Nancy and Ashley where I need to, and doing a lot of online with CareMerge and advertising the events.
Perfect. Thank you, Amanda. All right, so I am going to share my screen and I am going to pull up the 8 dimensions of wellness. So that way you all can see what I'm talking about when I say that, and then the life enrichment team can kind of refer to that as well. And we're going to send this form out to everybody via email after this event so that you can kind of review that on your own and have that little takeaway for yourself. And I will go ahead and share that screen. All right, can everyone see that? All right, so we're gonna, can you see that okay, everyone? Okay. Let me stretch out my screen on this side. All right, so we're gonna kind of go through, we'll start with number 1, intellectual wellness. So whoever on the Life Enrichment team wants to tackle each of these, just go ahead and jump right in.
Okay, so yeah, obviously intellectual wellness is keeping your mind engaged. One of the main things that we try to do in Life Enrichment is to offer a wide variety of programming and programming that will continue to stimulate your mind. And some of the things that we do in that realm would include some resident-led programs, such as the the current events programs, a creative writing class that we have. We do lots of presentation types of programs, bring in guest speakers from the greater community. And that again is something like most of our programming, it is our direction is resident led. Residents will tell us what types of things they want to learn more about. So we will put into place things to learn those things. It might be learning about what Black Lives Matter, which happened during the COVID-19 pandemic. So we had forums, we had leadership from Western Michigan University come on and lead some discussions on that topic. For example, we've had panel discussions, which Ashley could may want to jump in here for a second and mention some of the forums that we've had in person and with relation to the greater Kalamazoo community and the world at large. So Ashley, did you want to talk about any of those things that we've done?
Sure. So some of the panels that we've hosted in years prior, we about 2 years ago hosted a panel on LGBTQ issues with the outside organization here in Kalamazoo known as Out Front. They came in and brought in a series of guests to talk about gender and sexuality and help residents understand the difference in that. And there was a interest from residents in that subject, with a lot of their grands and great grands being a part of that world. So they wanted to learn more about that. We also brought in El Concilio, which is an organization in the greater Kalamazoo area to talk about immigration and Hispanic culture here in Kalamazoo and the impacts that ICE was having on the community at that time. We've had different guest speakers brought in to discuss what it was like growing up here in Kalamazoo. Robin Robinson, a local native here that hosts the radio station, she had an amazing story to talk about what it was like growing up in Kalamazoo, and that was very insightful for residents to hear. And we're always looking for different panels and different speakers to bring in different topics of interest for our residents, like an upcoming presenter. We've had a growing interest in native and floral fauna here at Friendship. So we've had a speaker coming in later this week who will be discussing honeybees and the life of honeybees and how important it is to grow local flora for the honeybees.
Yeah, and some of the other things that we've also hosted is, because Friendship Village is kind of a destination for a lot of different organizations. When KPS placed its new superintendent, Dr. Rachel Dory, came by. We did a Zoom meeting with her as a part of a group discussion. And typically, in normal times, we host political forums, not so much, in fact, not at all to endorse any kind of candidate or political positioning, but we invite all the candidates in order to give them a platform to speak to our residents on the issues that matter and then to answer questions, and they all come. So whether it's our U.S. Congressman, Fred Upton's been here a number of times. We've had our state senators, our U.S. senators have been here. So we do a really good job trying to reach out and, provide for our residents, the speakers and the forums that they require and that they want from us.
Right. So, and another example would be, timely topics. There've been a lot of scams and things. So we'll bring in professionals to speak on that topic so that our residents are aware of what to look out for and things like that. So that all is encompassed in the intellectual wellness dimension as our, we've got book groups, you'll always have those types of things, book discussion groups. There's a book to film study group that reads books and then watches films and kind of compares and talks about them. We've got a, a musical theater lovers group where people who just enjoy musicals we either go out to see musicals, but during COVID, we were doing a lot of streaming of musicals. So, our resources are terrific in that way, that Friendship Village allows us to use streaming devices so that we can bring the arts in and have discussions as well. So talked a lot about intellectual wellness. Moving on to physical wellness, that would encompass mostly our fitness department, which is going to be led by Andre McCormick, as Ken mentioned. But physical wellness, we've got a terrific fitness center that includes an equipment room and a group fitness room where classes are held every day, Monday through Friday. We also have an aquatic center now, a pool that residents may use on their own for fitness, as well as attend classes there. Ken, do you want to add anything to the?
Sure, yeah, so every new resident becomes a quote unquote member of our fitness center. And there's no fees, there's no obviously anything quite like that, but you meet in a one-on-one or as a couple with our fitness manager, who kind of doesn't gets to understand your goals and what you want to achieve in your physical effort and what you're capable of doing. And through that kind of little get together, we can individualize a program that's tailored for your needs and your physical abilities. So the equipment is all there. It's pretty much available 24/7, with the exception of the pool. The pool does have hours. It's like 6 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. But it's a robust program. We are here to keep you physically well, right? And the more physical activity you do, we know that there's a direct connection to, your well-being, whether it's intellectual well-being and just, kind of getting around. We host walks, we go on walks outside, so there's lots of things that don't necessarily entail being in the fitness center itself. Because we're kind of a nature loving place too. We like to get outside.
Yeah, and that would include things. The Life Enrichment team works with fitness director to try to come up with creative other things to do as well. We'll have active aging week where we might have cornhole tournaments, or chair volleyball has been a recent introduction, which has really been enjoyed. So as we discover what people want to do to have fun and be fit, could be dance. We've had dance demonstrations where people then could get up and learn. So all different types of ways to stay physically well.
Right.
Health services would include things like we have a hearing clinic. We have someone from they're from Beltone at the current time will come in and do checks on hearing aids and cleanings on hearing aids and talk with residents about what their needs are. We have the Heimstra Optical come in to do glass adjustments with the glasses and cleanings on your glasses. We have a foot clinic and those types of things to keep you healthy, as well as having presenters again that can talk to your needs with regard to Medicare, with regards to other health issues and topics. And again, we would work with our nursing staff in the community as well to help us stay abreast of all those things. Did you want to add?
Yeah, and then of course, then there's just the wraparound health services that I think people also expect when they move into Friendship Village. Home health nursing, if you need some assistance in your apartment, and then of course there's additional health services as your needs change as the longer that you're here. So it's we are working to keep you as healthy as we can and provide those support services and wraparound services that we can.
Yeah. With regard to spiritual wellness, we try to keep people connected to their churches where, however possible, whether it's using our transportation to get to Sunday services or bringing in Catholic Mass once a month. We have, for example, we also have residents who lead rosary groups with regard to the Catholic faith. We've got representatives from Presbyterian and Methodist Church and Episcopal Church. I'm trying to think of all of them. Different churches will have their leadership in the greater community will come to our grounds and to our community and provide services in that way. And then spiritual wellness, of course, would also include things like mindful meditation, which is a class that's very popular that we've been offering in person and on Zoom. Some people are continuing, even though we're back to in-person events, are continuing to come in on Zoom. In fact, a lot of people who are not even living in the building yet, who are part of Friendship Village, can still connect that way. So yeah, and it's non-denominational. We've had Bible studies. We do have a chaplain in-house who is there part-time to serve the needs of residents as much as he can as well. And he does do a weekly Sunday Vesper service in our community, in our Kiva. Vocational wellness. Our residents tend to be very connected with the greater community and do a lot of volunteer work outside the community. But we also encourage, and Ken is kind of he's a leader in this area too, to get people, to volunteer in different ways for the community. So we've got everything from people who sew. We've got our quilters who do vocational work, making lap quilts for people in our health center and for nursing homes and other areas of the community. We've got a veterans club that is there to help support our veterans, but we also, and they connect also with people from outside who attend these meetings in our building. We've held Parkinson's support groups and ALS support groups in our community, and those are all part of the vocational dimension of wellness. Knitting group that makes caps for children. They've been doing that for years and years, and residents that will deliver and drop those off. I'm trying to think, we've got people who are part of our kitchen band, which I consider vocational because they provide entertainment for our residents. We've got other people who provide musical entertainment. There's opportunities to garden, and our gardening produce ends up going to our own kitchen oftentimes, or to other folks who might need it, and staff even can take advantage of that. Does anybody want to chime in with a vocational activity that I'm missing here? Either Ashley or Ken. Our wood shop. Our wood shop is busy constantly. If you are a woodworker, you can use your talents to help repair items for residents in the wood shop or create items. We've got some of our regular woodworkers have been creating, table trays for people and other things. We had a resident who made a bunch of toy cars and donated them to children in the greater community through, I think, Salvation Army. So lots of opportunity to take part, to do something for others. If you are wanting to do that, if you are a person who loves to volunteer just within the Life Enrichment Department, I can tell you we can use people to help in all kinds of ways, from being a host for a presenter to running a movie to assisting with happy hours and other events. And that would lead into our social dimension of wellness, which is usually the one that people think of when they think of activities in a life enrichment department. You don't think of all the other areas of wellness, but the social dimension is the one people think of, and that's our happy hours, our parties, our island week themed events, our, all those sorts of things, showing movies, streaming concerts and things that people can enjoy. Games, we've got quite a crew who has enjoyed Wii Bowling over the years, and currently purchased another gaming system, a couple of gaming systems that we are getting ready to launch, including virtual reality and the Switch, if you've heard of that. Different socials will happen, and again, this all didn't stop during COVID-19 either. The social events went on in whatever way we could find to make them happen. So happy hour went into the hallways. It went door to door for a year, just about. And people found ways to still connect and have that interpersonal connection even through the pandemic. Social activity is really important. Monthly birthday and anniversary celebration is held to celebrate the residents who have meaningful events each month. So I probably could think of a whole bunch of social offerings. There's the card groups, there's the there's the bridge games, there's There's all sorts of things to do. And again, these things are driven by the residents, or the ideas are. If someone says, you know, I'd love to go golfing, I don't know who else golfs. It's our job in Life Enrichment, and what we enjoy doing so much is connecting folks, connecting you with somebody else who wants to do that same thing. So we've got some groups, some folks now golfing together who maybe didn't know each other before coming to Friendship Village, but now have a new team, a new group. We've got Scrabble and chess and all those types of things that can kind of happen. We've even got a couple of groups with the streaming services that have, you know, they'll get together just to watch a TV series on Prime Video or on Netflix or something together, and they have a ball just getting together and that social interaction. Environmental wellness would include those things that help beautify our community. And again, part of this also overlaps into vocational types of things, where you've got residents who are gung-ho and helping with recycling. And we have a landscape a landscape committee, and also an environmental and social and sustainability committee that helps to lead our community in the right directions with regard to those things. And I see Ashley nodding, so I'm going to stop talking for a second and let Ashley kind of talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, the Environmental and Sustainability Committee was recently formed over COVID, and they started a program with COVID with bottle recycling. We collected all the bottles that people had kind of collected over COVID and were taking up space in their apartments, and donated that all to the Girl Scout troops here in Kalamazoo area. And then that program also continues. They've also been working closely with the culinary department to help eliminate the use of styrofoam. They also have been working with the culinary department to implement more environmentally conscious meal choices, like more plant-based food items and more sustainably sourced food items. There's also a core group of residents here that get together every Friday morning, and they go out into our the Friendship Village woods, and they pull mustard, garlic mustard, which is out there, the invasive species. And they work on pulling that out and helping keep our woods clean and free of invasive species, as well as working on implementing different educational programs around that, helping to educate other residents as well as community members about native species or invasive species. Environmental wellness kind of also touches base with physical wellness, with us going out on nature walks. We recently did a nature walk at the Lillian Anderson Arboretum. Was that last month? Yeah. Okay, so we go out on different walks around different natural areas around here, as well as enjoy the nature that we have here on our campus.
Right, and we have an actual woods committee that is, you know, their sole purpose is to make sure that our village woods continues to thrive, and you know, they're constantly studying the different species of plant life out there, and making sure that we are remaining environmentally friendly throughout the woods. And then I mentioned too, the garden area is just a beautiful place to be, a beautiful place to spend time and work. And recently a couple of residents decided to plant a dahlia garden. And the sole purpose of that was, well, there were a couple of purposes to that. One was to get residents involved in doing bulb planting and getting them physically out there and working together, socializing in that way. And then also the flowers, then last year was the first year, the flowers are available for anyone to come out and view or pick and take into their apartments and homes and display. And just the joy that comes from that. I think that garden probably touches every dimension of wellness on the list because they enjoy it so much. Especially, and then the final dimension of wellness would be the emotional wellness section. And yeah, there's nothing like working in the gardens and plant life and having flowers delivered to your door that perks you up and brings you up and lights faces. So other emotional groups would be our, we've actually got a caring group. There's a group of residents who got together and just said, you know, we need to look out for each other. So we just formed this little group so that we can be there and support people and make sure we're touching base or giving a phone call or sitting down and having either a cocktail or having a cup of coffee or something with someone who just might need someone to interact with or a shoulder to lean on. This group also started doing some remembrance services for those people that we lost over the year, where normally we'd be able to have memorial services with their families. We weren't able to do that. So this committee came together and provided that support and that emotional wellness. And again, things like gardening and they're kind of emotional wellness comes through in crossover with a lot of the other dimensions with the veterans group and with mindfulness and with all that sort of thing. So that kind of, maybe I give you more than you need to know, but there's just a lot that I also didn't say happens within each dimension of wellness. And all of these things are what keep people healthy and strong and engaged in life. And that's what our team strives to do for all of you.
And one of the things I want to underscore and what the team is really, really good at is the intentionality of our efforts. As you come on campus and you see that we're talking about a particular program or presentation, you'll see that we use these symbols on campus. And any one program or any one event could have 2 or 3 or as many as 4 of these little symbols attached to it. And it's because as Nancy and the team are designing the month's calendar, there's a lot of intentionality attached to it. Is this checking the box for intellectual, vocational, social? We want to be sure that we're designing our programs around meeting the needs of our folks. And these 8 dimensions of wellness aren't just lip service that we post up on a wall. It is truly the guiding principles to how they really put together the calendar.
Right. So, so I guess just the last thing I want to say is just that, what we strive to do is to provide anything that you're looking for, things that you at one time maybe enjoyed in your life and want to continue to do. We try to make that happen for you. If there's something you've always wanted to try but never done, we try to make that happen for you. So we really are listening all the time. And we are out there also looking for things you might not have thought of. So sometimes there's a surprise planning in there, and sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's not, but we try new things all the time to keep everyone engaged in living. So I guess that's pretty much. Anybody have anything to add from my team? Otherwise, we'll go back to Diana.
Great. So thank you, everyone. So now we're going to, thank you for sharing all of those things. I think we have as you can see, a pretty vibrant program in the community. And if we haven't already thought of it,
Always thinking.
Yeah, you're welcome to bring something new to the table if there's an interest that you have. It's really your community. And they help with that, create the community that you're looking for. So now we're going to open it up to questions. So if you have a question, feel free to unmute yourself or raise your hand or add something to the chat. But before we get into the Q&A, we're going to talk before we get into the Q&A, we're going to go back to because Andre is not here, we do have a video that kind of talks about our fitness center. So I'm going to share let me find that video, and then I will share that video with everyone so you can kind of see from that department as well. We did a nice little little video. Sorry if you hear noise. All right, try to get us in a good spot here. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again, and we will watch this video. All right. There we go.
Hello, I'm Diana
Diana Duncan, Director of Sales and Marketing here at Friendship Village, and we are in our 8,000 square foot state-of-the-art fitness and aquatic center. I'm here to introduce our fitness center manager, Alicia Dennis.
Welcome to our aquatic center. Here we have a 90-degree pool. It is salt water and the air temperature is 90 degrees, also very warm and relaxing. We offer a variety of aquatic classes from aquatic balance to aqua strength and aqua size. We also have a resistance lap lane so you can swim against a current. For a nice swim, you can enjoy our sauna. For your convenience, we have men's and women's locker rooms with showers. We also provide towels so you don't have to worry about doing the laundry. And we have a nice relaxing area too, just to relax and enjoy. Into our strength and cardio studio, we have high-end equipment here with 2 new steps, a recumbent bike, 2 treadmills, an elliptical, a water row machine, and a couple strength machines. We have a seated row, a chest press, leg extension, and leg curl. We also have these fantastic, easy-to-ride trikes on our 72-acre campus. Our group fitness studio, we offer a variety of different group fitness classes, ranging from better balance, seniors of strength, stretch and strength, interval, yoga, and so much more.
Alicia, thank you so much for walking us through the Fitness and Aquatic Center. It really is a great amenity in our community. And that's it, everyone. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. And we hope that you can join us soon to enjoy these amazing amenities with us. All right. So that was our fun little video for the fitness center. So Andre is the new person coming in. So Alicia has been promoted since making this video. So we are welcoming Andre quite soon. All right, so to get to questions, we did have a question during the program. The question was, is intellectual wellness for residents only, or do you have other attendees in Kalamazoo? Does this also include WMU Ollie? So Nancy, do you want to address that question?
Yes, we have hosted Western's Ollie chapter for many, many classes over the years. And of course, during this last year, we were not able to have them, but they will be coming back, and they have provided programming for our residents who are members of Ollie and also non-members. I can also attend those at a different rate. The other part of that question was just other outside.
Yeah.
Oh, can other people come in if they do not belong to Friendship Village? Outside people do come in for like our support groups and things, but for our Ken, maybe you can help me with that one as far as other educational programs and presenters that we have.
Yeah, well, you know, it kind of depends upon the event. Friendship Village is a pretty open and welcoming campus. So, you know, back in the day when we were an open campus before COVID, you know, outside folks or really a lot of times relations would come in and be a part of our programming and events. If we were doing things, families could certainly come in. A lot of people would come in and do things. You know, we do host outside organizations other than Ollie from time to time. You know, part of the challenge, I think, is that we really keep our venues pretty well booked up. So sometimes it could be a little difficult to, you know, to book the Kiva. But with the addition of the clubhouse now, we have a wonderful new classroom out in the clubhouse. And I'm sure Diana's probably talked a little bit about the clubhouse coming on scene here pretty soon. But we have a lot of hope around that being a host for even more Ollie classes and for other groups too.
I think the short answer too would be if someone were to want to attend an event, whether it's an intellectual event or some other, I think it would just kind of depend on the capacity at that event, you know, and popularity. First seating would, of course, go to our residents. And then certainly we could have guests if there is room.
And to that as well, when we hosted Reading Together, the community read program through KPL, We were actually a venue for a couple of their discussions that they hosted. So we had outside members of the community come and participate in those book discussions.
And that actually brings up a different aspect of what we do. So we partner with outside organizations. We partner with KPL, a lot of intergenerational work. You know, our resilience project with Western Michigan University, where we kind of partner together one of our older adult residents with, you know, a 20-something fresh to college person, and to kind of talk about resilience and how they're overcoming things in life. We're partnered with KPL on the Reading Together things. We partner with even infant groups to come in. Nancy can probably talk to that better than I can. So we are always looking for that opportunity to leverage our community's resources and bring them into campus for sure.
Thank you, Ken and Nancy. So one other question is virtual reality. What is that? Who would like to address that question?
All right, who wants that one? We haven't heard from Amanda yet. No.
I would say, Amanda, do you want to speak to
Look
that?
at her face.
Okay, well, it is new. It is a new thing for us. Yeah, so we are learning it before we teach it. But a virtual reality, you know, what we have is a headset, and it connects to different applications, different apps and programs. So with the virtual reality headset on, what you can do is immerse yourself in something, whether it's a tour of, you know, of a forest somewhere, or of a castle, or
right.
of, yeah.
Yeah, so I put it on. It's this thing that fits over your head, right? And the next thing you know, I'm like at a bird's eye view, flying over the launching of a rocket ship. And you're hearing the tower doing their countdown, 10, 9, 8, and you're seeing the billowings of the gas. But all of that while, you're kind of floating over this thing, watching all of this happen. And it's absolutely incredible. Just an incredible experience. And then there's ones where you're just kind of casually fishing, or, you know, it's, or seeing other parts of the world, right? I mean, there's some where you can go to Tuscany and Paris and just kind of walk the streets.
Yeah, the idea is, you know, and it's, you know, especially as people are unable to travel as much, it's a great opportunity. That's why kind of they promote it for seniors a lot. Once maybe your physical traveling days are over, you can still go back and see an area of the world that you haven't been to. And of course, none of us have been on a spaceship to the moon, but we kind of, I think we all practiced in the spaceship, where you could actually use our devices with your hands to grab things that are floating in the spaceship, and, you know, grab the tools. And so it's kind of, it can be physical, but it can be emotionally charged experience, and a lot of fun, you know. And of course, for, you know, the more active set, you can actually be out there. You can be out there chasing people, or doing whatever, playing tag. I don't know.
You can be Wyatt Earp at the OK Corral.
You can be Wyatt Earp at the OK Corral. So yeah, it's a new technology that we've just begun exploring and purchased. So we'll be learning more and doing some training with ourselves and residents, with staff and residents. Yeah.
That is exciting. Okay, so speaking of technology, can you talk a little bit more about CareMerge for those who are not quite familiar with it just yet?
Have at it, Ashley.
All right.
About CareMerge, it's your favorite thing. It is a great thing. It is a tremendous communication tool, but we can let Ashley kind of get into the nuts and bolts of how it works.
So CareMerge is accessible through multiple different platforms. You could access it through your smartphone, your tablet, your laptop, your desktop, and we actually install in your apartment or garden home an Echo device that will give you the same information that you can access on your computer or tablet. And for those that live in the main building, we have an insertion channel that also provides all of that information that you can see on CareMerge on our insertion channel known as Channel 1. So CareMerge itself is our platform that we use to schedule, to communicate, and to connect residents throughout the village. On the website, you have the announcements, which we put important information, like if there's a change to the schedule or if there is an upcoming meeting, we'll put that information out there so you can see it on the website, or you can ask your Echo device a certain set of phrases and they'll give you that same information. So depending on what your skill set is and what you feel comfortable with, you can still access that information. We also have groups on CareMerge. So we have like a strong group with the garden homers where they communicate with each other and it's just their own internal form of chatting back and forth. We also have on CareMerge community engagement, which is the website portal. You could access the dining menu. So if you wanted to maybe look ahead in the week and see what's coming up for dinner on Friday and make your dinner reservations, you can do all of that on CareMerge. With the pandemic, it was really helpful because a lot of our activities actually required for residents to sign up for activities. So that way we could do contact tracing as well as limit the capacity to certain spaces. So residents could actually sign up for activities on CareMerge, the website, or again, through their Echo Dot, which was helpful in helping us manage and track residents as well as helping them get their weekly events all set up for themselves. We also have digital copies of a lot of our paperwork there on CareMerge, so that way it helps us reduce our paper use. If you were really interested, you can go onto CareMerge and look up 2020 January article of the Villager, or you can stay up to date with the Connections Matters. All of the COVID information was put out there, so that way residents always had access to it. And on Channel 1, it's always rotating different announcements for folks to stay up to date on the events that are happening around the village. And you can always ask your Echo Dot, you know, what are the events today? You could ask her, what are the events tomorrow? She's your own little personal assistant and friend, and it's pretty handy to have because we do have a few low vision residents that have really utilized this device and helping them stay connected and active in the community. So depending on what your level of comfortability with technology is, we have different ways for you to access it.
Right, and so at the very core and probably the most used thing on CareMerge is the community calendar. So, you know, whereas you may have received a paper calendar in the past, that is an interactive calendar that you can go to. You can narrow it by week or by day or look at the whole month, and you can sign up for things that you would like to attend right there. So the calendar is available to you, and all the updates to the calendar, should something change, would always be up, you know, instantly updated, and you can access that from your phone, tablet, or by Echo Dot asking what's on the calendar that day. So there's that, and as Ashley mentioned, the resource tabs are always growing. So there's all sorts of things. I mean, people, you know, you can access maps of the woods, or you can access, I had thought of something that flew out of my mind, something else that you could get from there. But some people, like, you know, they want to follow if there's a friend who has passed, and they, you know, they can see the obituaries in there, because we will upload those all the time. Oh, the fitness videos. There are fitness videos. If you can't make it to a class, there are videos available to you right there on CareMerge. You can just bring one up and watch it from your computer. So there's a lot of resources, and it's just a great communication tool, because we can let you know instantly, you know, and you'll get an email notification if there's a new announcement, so that you'll know if something happened and the pool pump broke and the pool's closed, or if the elevator one is under repair that day, or, you know, so all those types of things you can stay connected with.
Right, and the Echo is tied into many of the common areas of our village. So you can just use the Echo to call the front desk, or call room service, or call security, or call for a nurse, or call, you know, for all these types of things. So that's our partnership with Amazon for hospitality. We're actually one of the very few communities in the country, and certainly maybe the only one in this area, that has this type of connectivity. We provide the Echo Dot at no charge, and then all that programming is also at no charge. Many residents like having one, and then they'll want to have another one and another one, because if they've got a 3-bedroom apartment, they like the idea of being able to have, you know, that tool really closer at hand. So it's a good program, and people like it.
And to the point too about the calendar, what's neat about the calendar is if there's an event that you see and you want to learn more information about it, you just simply have to go to the calendar, click on the event itself, and you will find all the details around that event. So if you see a movie that's coming up and you want to learn more about what that movie is before you show up and see it, you can actually see the details and the rating and how long that movie is. Or if we have a speaker coming in, you can learn more about the topic that that speaker is going to be presenting on.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Life Enrichment team. So I'm going to open it up to questions. So if anybody has any questions of their own, go ahead and chime in if there's any burning questions before we let you have the rest of your day. All right.
We did such a good job.
Really that thorough.
Covered it all. I'm personally excited. Like I want to spend my day. I want to go for a swim and join a class, and so that sounds like a nice full day. I'm kind of tired just thinking about it.
Right. And we don't force anybody into anything. Like I said, you can do as much or as little. You know, we like to talk about and talk, you know, about talk up all of our great programs, but the reason for the variety and the reason for so much is that, you know, there are some people who are going to want to do everything and they can do that. There are some people who are going to pick and choose, and we want to make sure there is something there for everyone. So
that's a great point, Nancy. Thank you. So as you can see, we have a pretty dedicated team in our life enrichment programming, and it does take a village. And so the residents and the staff working closely together create a pretty vibrant lifestyle for everyone. So with that, if I don't see any other questions, I'm going to go ahead and let you have the rest of your day. And of course, if you want to come in for a learning session to learn not only about our wonderful life enrichment team, but also about the lifestyle options here at Friendship Village, we'd be happy to set up one of those between Thomas and I. So give us a call here in the office. And I did see another question coming in, so let me address that. How do you check to keep people from being isolated? I'll leave that to Life Enrichment if I don't know who wants to chime in for that. It's a good question. Great question.
So, you know, we kind of know our people, right? And so there's a lot of, I don't want to, say eyes, but, we kind of know our people, and we know what we're looking for. So when we haven't seen somebody for a while and someone's been coming for something for a moment in time, then all of a sudden they're not showing up, we'll knock on a door, we'll make a phone call, we'll do a check-in to see, how they're doing and is everything okay? Our fitness manager is really good about seeing this happening as well. And then of course we've got home health nurses walking through the hallways. COVID was a hard time. And people felt it, right? I mean, we were kind of isolated from friends and family for a while. And I think that the benefit of the village in that moment in time was actually really pronounced, because we had a community inside these four walls that people were able to connect to and latch on to and be a part of. And I think largely our folks really did a really nice job of supporting each other. And then through our programming and, a lot of the spiritual stuff that we were doing in that moment in time, and it's just physical and social stuff. So, we're paying attention, I guess is what I'm saying. We're paying attention and reacting to it and helping where we can help out, certainly. Hopefully that answers.
We stay in close communication with our Director of Resident Services.
Right.
They tell us when they're seeing something and ask how we can help with that person. We tell them if we're starting to see changes in somebody or if someone's not been very visible. And then we also partner with Western for interns and internships. And a lot of the folks that come over from Western, the students, are studying family services and other things. And they will come, and they're, you know, what we put them in charge of is providing some one-on-one companionship for people who don't come to a lot of things, to make sure that they are staying engaged and having conversations and playing cards and listening to music, or to help coax them to come down to events and things. So that's a
Yeah.
really important part of our programming as well.
You know what, and I'm really glad for the question, because we would have forgotten to talk about that. You know, we talk about the big group stuff we do, but a lot of our most important work is that what I call micro life enrichment, is that really one-on-one, responsive, connecting to people. You know, because you know, some people just that's what they respond best to, and
Right.
and we have to provide for that type of service and companionship. Yeah. For
And
sure.
I would say too, we're also pretty connected to a lot of residents' families. We've often had family members reach out to us saying, "Hey, my mom isn't attending as many activities. Can you help her find something that might be of interest to her, or help her find a group to join?"
And again, this is where CareMerge comes in very handy. If residents share the login information for CareMerge, then family members can be looking at what's coming up. We've had family members call us and say, "Hey, you know, I went on CareMerge, or I got the notification," if they like share an email with the resident, you know, that there's this event coming up. Can you help us? Can you make sure that mom goes to bingo, or can you make sure that I think they would really like this presentation or this movie. And, you know, our staff will make sure that they get a reminder and that they come, and that's worked out really well as well. And we've also helped people get on Zoom during the pandemic to attend family functions. You know, we've helped them FaceTime and Skype, and we want to keep people connected with their families as much as we want them to be connected within our community.
Thanks for that question. That was
Yeah, that was a great
an
question.
important, that was an important point. Yep.
Thank you. And well addressed. Nice job. Well, yeah, that was an important question. All right. Does anyone else have anything to add or ask before I let you go? All righty. Looks like we're in good shape. All right. Thank you to the Life Enrichment team for coming on and explaining your very important role here at the community. So we really appreciate you taking the time out and away from the residents to come join us and talk to us. We appreciate all of you. Everyone else, thank you for attending. Without you, of course, it wouldn't be an event. So we appreciate your time. And to our team, so thanks to our marketing team for their hard work. So everyone have a wonderful day. It's a gorgeous day out there, so hopefully you'll get outside and get some of that environmental therapy. Touch your feet and put your feet in the grass and enjoy the warm weather out there. Have a great day, everyone, and thanks again for your time.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye now.
Well.